we are live. Welcome to our 12 Days of Christmas webinar event brought to you by Office Dynamics International. Thank you for joining us and introducing yourself in the chat. We are enjoying that, seeing everyone coming in for the webinar. Today, if you could also let us know, in addition to who you are and where you're from, what is your favorite holiday movie? Mine is the classic, It's a Wonderful Life, and my favorite modern holiday movie is Elf. It's just so fun. So thank you for sharing that with us. So yesterday we had a lot of fun, and we thank those of you who were with us and during the live event and took part in our reindeer game. Hang on, I have a prop for that. So thanks for taking part in our reindeer game. It was such a hard choice to make after so many thoughtful submissions from all of you. The team did deliberate, and we decided on the submission. Drum roll.
Jingle bell roll.
Jingle bell, drum roll. We decided on the submission Snowberry from Stephanie. Stephanie, get with Malia with your mailing address, and we will get a prize mailed to you. Thank you for submitting the name for our dainty dancing reindeer in Joan's office. Snowberry is what we will call her. And thank you to everyone who's taken the time to send us your messages of thanks via email, Facebook, Twitter, and for sharing this webinar with your peers. Many of you are now watching the webinar as admin teams. So we thank you for that as well. What a great way to bond as a team and close out the year and learn together. So this is day 6 of our 12 Days of Christmas webinar series, and we are at the halfway mark. Can you believe it?
Wow.
And today we're going to be talking to you about Live a Big Life, specifically living your big life in 2017. So we do have a handout for you, and our webinar administrator will share that in the chat. Also, please stay tuned until the end of our 30-minute program for our special offer and giveaways today. Also, as always, we'll send a certificate of attendance. So watch for that. We do post that on our blog, and all of our webinar follow-up is also posted there daily with the corresponding post. It will be called Live Your Big Life in 2017, 12 Days of Christmas webinar. So watch for that. Okay, we are ready to hand the program over to Joan, our founder and CEO here at Office Dynamics International. Hello, Joan.
Hi, Jasmine, and hello, everyone. Wow, we are in the halfway, at the halfway point, aren't we? And it's so funny, as I was getting ready again this morning at home and thinking about what I was going to wear today, and Jasmine and I try to coordinate for each day and think about what we want to do. So today we have on our Live a Big Life t-shirts. But I was thinking, is this what it's like for the female news reporters, newscasters? Every single day they've got to show up and stage and be out there and talking and engaging people. And it's interesting. It's been a lot of fun. Actually, I've enjoyed it, knowing each morning that I'm going to get to communicate with all of you and hear from all of you around the world. In case you didn't hear me yesterday when I mentioned that every night I read the chat. Jasmine prints it. I read every comment. And one thing is, I want to congratulate everyone on contributing positive comments and thoughts and energy. Yes, sometimes when we do our regular monthly webinars, some people aren't so kind. So I just want to thank you for keeping everything positive, upbeat, and really thank you for the kudos you're giving Jasmine and I, because even though these are short, we still put as much work into these. We still have to prep. We still have to get ourselves ready for this. And we're just happy to know that you really appreciate this and that our ideas are helping you. That means a lot to us. We feel like this is one of the greatest gifts we could give, is free learning and education. But also congratulations, because you're contributing so many great ideas. So I want to encourage you as we continue through the rest of our webinars, keep sharing because you're awesome as well. So today, yes, we are going to talk about Live a Big Life. But first of all, I'm curious, do you even know about Live a Big Life? Have you heard about the book, or have you heard me talk about Live a Big Life? I'd like to kind of see where we are with that. So Jasmine is going to poll our audience, correct?
Yes, Joan, I've got the poll going now, just giving them a little bit of time to answer. 25% are yes, 75% are no right now.
Okay, so we've got the poll, and I know it's coming in, and it does take a little while. So I just want to give you a little background information before I jump into the 5 pillars. A couple of years ago, I wrote a book called Give Yourself Permission to Live a Big Life, and I know you're seeing this backwards. But this book was written with a lot of love and passion for inspiring women. And this book is a book for women of all walks of life. And of course, I'm surrounded and supported by women. And of course, we all know that about 97% of assistants are female. So I've been around women for a long, long time and know the challenges they face and that they wear a lot of hats. Now, if we have any males on our webinar today, a lot of what I'm going to share applies to you as well. But Live a Big Life is a book of courage and faith, risk-taking, overcoming obstacles, becoming all that you were, who you were meant to be. It's a memoir type book. So I share a lot of what I've been through since I was a young girl, even starting at my birth. But I don't want you to think it's one of those books where all you're going to do is read about me and my whole life. I just give you some short scenarios that really get to the main point of what's important for you. So a couple points about Live a Big Life. What is it? When I refer to live a big life is supported by 5 pillars. How many, I'm wondering too, if any of you have heard about my 5 pillars, but the 5 pillars are career, family, financial, spiritual, and wellness. And for the last several years since the book came out, I've been speaking at live events about the 5 pillars. I've been speaking on Live a Big Life. We hold pillar huddles at our office every Friday. And one of us takes the lead on the pillar huddle. So like tomorrow's my day. And I will bring something in to share with my team around one of those 5 pillars. And the reason we do that is to make sure we keep these 5 pillars in our mind throughout the year. And I'm going to talk more about the pillars in a moment. The second piece, or another part of living a big life, gratitude is a huge aspect. If you're going to live your big life, you have to make time to be grateful. And there's a lot of different ways that we do that. So one thing I talk about frequently is a gratitude journal. And in fact, along with the book, we created our own gratitude journal that we offer. And so the idea there is that at night before you go to bed, I find that to be the best time, at least for me, at the end of a day, is to write in my journal, what am I grateful for that day? And I will write everything from I'm grateful I have teeth to I'm grateful for my family, my friends. I'm grateful for particular people who have been in my life for a long time who have helped me. I'm grateful for work that comes our way so that we all can feed our families and be able to purchase clothes to put on our backs. So gratitude is huge, and not only writing a gratitude journal, but expressing your gratitude to others. How many times do you just go about your business, right? We all do it because we're so busy, but we don't really maybe stop to say to that person at work, gee, thank you. I really appreciate you looking that up for me. Or I really appreciate you helping me on that project. Or I really appreciate you being open, to my ideas. So it's really important that we not just think gratitude, but that we make sure people know that we're truly grateful that they are in our lives. A couple other pieces about Big Life. A very, very important one that I love to speak on and is in the book is Red Lipstick On. I'm sure you've heard it. If you've been following us for a while, you have heard us talk about red lipstick, and you might be wondering, what's the big deal? Oh, it's a huge deal in my life, because those were words that were spoken to me by a good friend when I was at my lowest point in the early days of my husband being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And I've always worn red lipstick. I love red lipstick. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel strong. It makes me feel confident. And it's a hard color to wear. A lot of women don't feel comfortable in red. But really what's important here is even if you never wear it, it's okay. It's a mantra of empowerment. And I use that mantra when I feel overwhelmed at work or with life. Even our whole office staff, including the men, when we are up to really have a big challenge in front of us, or maybe we're really gearing up for conference, it's a week before conference, we're going crazy, we're putting in all kinds of hours, and we'll say red lipstick on. And we all know that means muster up every bit of whatever you've got and tackle the project or tackle the problem. So even if you never wear red lipstick, I hope you just remember that mantra, and that it will help you, when you really need to come forth in a very strong way. And there's two more pieces I want to share with you with Big Life, and then we'll get into the pillars. But these are all important. So another piece or aspect of living a big life, and I love this one, is it's called Superwoman is Missing in Action, and it's okay. For women, I do believe in a way women are super women. I meet, like I said, thousands of women. I know in my own life what I deal with. So women are very strong, and like you, managing careers, managing jobs, taking care of parents, taking care of children. Maybe you're going to school part-time or taking online classes, and then you're maybe a daughter, or maybe you're an aunt and you help there in your family. So we wear a lot of different hats, and we all want to do our very best. And so the idea with Superwoman is missing in action. There are times that you need to be missing in action. And what I mean by that there's times you need to just let it go and let others handle things for you, and let others do things for you around the house, or let neighbors help you. And again, that was a really great lesson I learned, because again, when my husband was first sick, I was trying to do everything and take care of everything, and I didn't want to bother others. And then I finally realized, you know what? I'm missing in action, and that is fine with me. So there are times when you need to just let it go and let others, like I said, handle things. And then the last but very important piece of Big Life is to live your big life. To truly be who you are meant to be, and to not be afraid and not let others dictate your life. It's your life, and you have a lot to offer, a lot to give. You have a lot of potential within you, and often we're the ones that hold ourselves back. A lot of times it isn't others telling us not to do things. It's our little mind saying we're not smart enough, we're not good enough. Oh my gosh, should we do that? What if we fail? Or I shouldn't ask for that. I shouldn't want nice things, or I shouldn't want a great career. And we feel guilty. So, and women are great at the guilt game. And that's something you need to get over and live the life that you are meant to live in all 5 pillars. So let's get to the 5 pillars. a couple ideas first, if you want to make notes, because this isn't in your handout, is the idea with the 5 pillars is for you to take the lead in each of those areas. Don't wait for others, again, to, drive your career, and don't wait for others to tell you how to be taking care of your financial responsibilities. We need to be accountable for our own finances and managing our money and how we spend it and what we spend it on. Wellness is another area. Don't leave that up to other people in terms of, you've got to be the leader. An example, I guess I could say, is that if you're on this journey, or you're on a journey of really watching what you're eating and drinking and whatever, and of course the holidays, this is the worst time to talk about this, because we should enjoy ourselves right now. But let's say that, you're being really diligent, at another time of year, and then all of a sudden your friends are, of course, oh, come on, you could eat that, you could have that, it's no big deal. To have the strength to say, well, it really is right now, I'm being really good. And actually, I want to quickly mention, I got an email last night from a good friend. She's an executive assistant. I've known her for several years. She's assisted me on some projects over the years because she's an awesome writer. She knows all about my pillars, and she lives the pillars too in her life. And I had just asked her about helping me on a special project that I wanted to do next year. And I just tossed it out to see if she was interested. And I give her a lot of credit, because it would probably be nice to make some extra money, but instead she wrote me and said, I'm really focusing on my spiritual and wellness pillars. I've been making a lot of progress, but I'm not where I want to be yet. And I'm sorry, Joan, while I would love to help and write, I'm not going to take it on right now. I'm staying very focused. And I truly admire her for staying committed to her path and her journey. So the great news, when we take the lead in each of those pillars, we actually inspire and encourage others. So imagine if you're at work and you're really taking this great lead and great example, you're going to inspire and encourage others. A few main things. Let's go to your handout. With your pillars, the idea is to give equal attention over time. I don't believe in the word balance, and for years and years and years, for decades, we've talked about balancing work and home life. Mine has never been in balance. I don't know about you, but if they were ever perfectly balanced, it had to probably be for a day. So what I know is very feasible and doable, because I'm living it, and so is my team and others who know about the pillars, is to give equal attention over time. That's doable. So maybe right now you're putting more focus in one or two other areas of your pillars, and then maybe in a few months you're going to be focusing on another pillar or another 2 pillars. The idea is make sure over a year you've given equal attention to all your pillars. So if you haven't paid attention to your finances all this year, you need to make some time before December 31st. And even if you have to spend several hours or a whole Saturday afternoon and focus on your financial situation. Do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Do you have everything in order? Because life happens, and you can't wait until it happens and then you're scrambling. Believe me, that's really difficult. Wellness, okay, I'm going to give you a reprieve on that one. But wellness is described as different things, right? Wellness is maybe drinking your 8 glasses of water a day. It doesn't mean never eat ice cream and such, but it's doing everything moderately. So let's look at each of the pillars. What I did for today is I took the 5 pillars, and I just wanted to give you a few little bullet points in each of the pillars. So with the career, the one I think that is important is to own your reputation. we have to manage our reputation. What kind of reputation do you have? How do people view you? This kind of ties into your brand as well. We've talked about branding many, many times. The idea of being accountable, and I would really take a little time to think about what is your reputation, and I'm sure it's a great positive one, but are there areas maybe that can be improved upon? I love the second one. Ordinary is easy. Extraordinary will separate from the crowd. Just, look in our chat box. Let's go to the chat. If you're not there, I'm going over there a minute. I think our chat holds up to 1,000 people. We have several thousand on the webinar with us. Thousands of assistants. How are you going to stand out if you were to measure up against thousands of assistants? And I'm not saying answer me. You just have to think in your mind, and it's not about being better than everyone else. That's not what I'm talking about. How are you going to go the extra mile? How are you going to stand out? What are you going to do today after you get off this webinar that is going to make somebody say, wow, she or he is really sharp. They're on the ball. They've got it together. Or I'll use an example. Malia in my office. I love this. I'm sorry. I've got to do this because I'm a show and tell girl. So I asked Malia to just put together a little binder for me for all my chat from these webinars. And she came up in like 2 minutes with this great, pretty little thing. She could have just taken a sheet of paper like I would do, type in, the 12 Days of Christmas webinar, put it through the printer and slam it on a plain piece of paper in black ink. That's going the extra mile. I was like, wow. Okay, this was a simple little task. But you know what? When you're extraordinary in 100 areas, not just at one thing. So it's a way of life, basically. And I want to challenge you to measure yourself against yourself. You don't have to measure yourself against others. Are you doing your very best in every aspect all the time? And yes, there are days you're not going to feel like it. That's okay. There's days we're tired and life happens, but then move on. Let's go to the family pillar. I love the family pillar. This includes your friends, your pets, your coworkers, neighbors, anyone who you're really close to. So first is to focus on the gifts and the strengths of each person. We all have faults. I know I certainly have my own, and I'm not always cognizant maybe, but we want to look at what are the gifts that each of our family members bring, to our family. Look at those, appreciate those. What about your friends? Be forgiving of your friends. What about your neighbors and such? So, really thinking about that. And then the second bullet I have is that love is reciprocal, and support. It's got to work both ways. And that's why I say take the time in terms of gratitude, taking the time. I'll give you another example. I've had a wonderful gentleman who has been with me and was with me and my husband for 16 years. His name is Don. And Don has taken care of our home in terms of handyman work. He watches my dogs when I travel. I'm gone all the time, and he takes care of my dogs. I could trust him with anything. He helps clean the house. He's there for everything in my life. And especially now that I'm single, he's been exceptionally wonderful. He'll go get light bulbs, change my light bulbs. He'll go get the salt for the salt water tank. And finally, 3 weeks ago, I wrote him a one-page letter. I typed a letter about how grateful I am that he's been in my life for 16 years. And I was very specific as to what I was grateful for. And Don, believe me, he could drive me crazy sometimes. He loves to talk. He's wonderful. And he knows sometimes he, has a few little mishaps around my house. But I put those aside because he has so much good that he brings to me. And that's what we have to do with family and friends. All right, let's go on to financial. Again, I know this is probably a hard time of year to talk about this because we're all Christmas shopping, holiday shopping. We want to remember all those great people, right? So one statement is money in and of itself is not bad. Other people say, well, it's not good to want to have a lot of money. Just money by itself is not bad. It's what we do with the money. So if someone's just always thinking of themselves and spending money just on themselves, then yeah, that's not good. But money is not good or bad. So get that in your head. And the thing is, when you manage your money, you can help others who can't go to work. You can help others who can't afford the things you have, right? This is the holiday. I know next week, me and my team, we're going to Westcare to pitch in through our church. And we want to physically give, but we've also, through our church, we buy gifts for the kids. And it's great to have money to go be able to shop for these little kids and parents who can't afford to buy their child a thing. So keep that in mind. And then Dave Ramsey, I'm a huge fan of Dave Ramsey. So if you want to follow anyone with good financial advice, I love Dave. And he says spend every dollar on paper and give it purpose. Now, I'm still working on this one. I have to be honest, I'm not great at it, but I am constantly watching my checking account and checkbook. If the money's not there, it doesn't get spent. But the idea for Dave is that at the beginning of a month, have your budget. Exactly how much are you going to spend on your food, on clothing, maybe on your pets, and to really have a purpose. And just think about it. You work really hard to earn a paycheck, right? So think about the hours you put in. Think about the stuff you put up with at work to earn that dollar. And make it important and valuable, and it has to have a purpose. Spiritual, I'm not talking about religion here, okay? I'm talking about the spirit within each and every, and it says in your handout, spirit is courage, bravery, and resolution. I love the second bullet. Our spirit craves victory. The inner spirit that's inside of you, deep in here, not the physical, craves victory. And so that's another chapter that I wrote about in Big Life, is to be a victor over your circumstances, not a victim, to know that you can do that. And then wellness, I have allow into your being feelings of wellness and strength and health. It's true that what we think, can affect our health. And I'm not saying you will never get a disease, you will never have something happen to you or a major surgery. But the deal is, if you're taking care of yourself all year long and that happens, you're going to be in much better shape and come out of that surgery faster than if you weren't taking care of yourself. So, think about, see yourself being healthy and strong and wonderful. And then move your body. We have talked about this before. We sit way too much. I don't know if you've heard about the sitting disease. If you haven't, Google it and you'll read all kinds of things. We don't move enough today. So maybe after this webinar, you've been sitting and watching, you could get up and take a little walk, but keep moving. There was, who is it? I'm trying to think now. Danny, what was his name? I could picture him. Oh, Dick Van Dyke. And they had a special on him. It was just a year ago. He was turning, I think, 90 years old. And they asked him, he wrote a book, actually, he come out with a book. And they asked him, what does he attribute he's still dancing. He dances with his wife in the kitchen, like every day. He says, you gotta move your body. So, all right, that's it. I'm wrapping up. It's time already. Those are the 5 pillars.
Oh my goodness, is it that time? I was
It's
having
that time.
so much fun. I don't even know if I'm ready over here. So yes, I might need your help a little bit later with my sound effects, Joan. So we were having so many people talk about your book, which isn't our special offer today, but if you are interested in the book, it is available on our shopping cart at officedynamics.com/store, but also on Amazon if you are a Kindle reader or you prefer the Audible version, which is the audio version of the book. And if you didn't know, the Audible version of this book is actually read by Joan. So that's kind of fun too. If you prefer to listen to your books, then that's available on Amazon.com. And that's Give Yourself Permission to Live a Big Life. So
I just wanted to add, if anyone orders the book from us, if they were, I will, autograph your book as well. So if you order from here, I'd be happy to autograph it for you and put on that special little sticker that says autograph copy.
That's fantastic. And then to bring us to our special offer for today, we do have the Live Your Big Life with one of our conference on demand. So our conferences are recorded ever since 2012. We have been recording our conference sessions, and they're available as a conference on demand. They do not expire, and you can view these sessions as often as you'd like. So we have reduced 2012 through 2015, and they are all reduced to $99 each. So please feel free to shop around. Joan does talk about the 5 pillars and living a big life, living a bold life in a few of those conferences. So check them out, and there's a description on each page about which speakers are talking about which topics so that you can pick the one that's right for you. It's a great time to build your training library as well. So that's what our special offer is today. We also have our giveaway, which we are going to be giving away.
Okay. There you go for a while.
Thank you, Joan, for the bells. So between who is on live with us, let's see here. And we are giving away 5 Setting Healthy Boundaries webinars. So 5 of those will go to 5 different individuals. And then we have 1 Live a Big Life success kit that will include Joan's book, as well as her Big Life, one of her Big Life tote bags, a t-shirt, and a journal, a gratitude journal, and a Big Girl diary. So that's a lot of fun. Our first winner of the Setting Healthy Boundaries webinar is Denise Baldwin. Denise Baldwin. Yay! Congratulations, Denise. And our next winner is Michelle, and it looks like Michelle with 2 L's, and your email, it looks like Michelle Lark is your name, Michelle.Lark.
Yay!
Congratulations, Michelle. You also win a Setting Healthy Boundaries webinar. Our next winner is Cindy Lokovich, Lokovich. You are another winner of Setting Healthy Boundaries. Was that 3?
That's 3.
Okay.
2 more to go.
Triana Smith, looks like you work in Treasury. You win the 4th Setting Healthy Boundaries. And congratulations to you, Triana. Janet Brake, looks like at Verizon, Janet Brake won. So you are the winner of the 5th Setting Healthy Boundaries webinar. And then finally, our Live a Big Life success kit for getting you started in 2017 is Marlena Galarza, Galarza. So Marlena,
Awesome.
Marlena, you are our final giveaway winner for today.
Yay.
And of course, we are only halfway through our 12 Days of Christmas webinar event, and we will be back tomorrow with a special guest. Her name is Julie Perrine, and she's going to be talking about the organized assistant. So if you want to go from chaos to control, please be sure to join us tomorrow. And of course, Joan, before we close out, any additional words for our attendees?
I don't think I have really any today.
All right.
Believe it or not, I just want to thank everyone and hope you'll be back tomorrow and next week as well. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. And a reminder, because I think we're still waiting to hear from Stephanie, who submitted the name Snowberry yesterday for our reindeer. So Stephanie, if you submitted that name Snowberry, if you could just email Malia Amira from our office, and she will get in touch with you on how to get that prize that we'll be mailing to you. Just send her a quick email. And for everyone else, we'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you. Bye.